The movie Wire. The movie Wire. The movie Wire. The movie Wire.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of The Movie Wire. This is JT, and I hope that you are doing great today. I hope that you're doing well. I hope that life is treating you well. And once again, I'm so excited to bring you another episode, another awesome review. Once again, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment The Movie Wire on our various social media and podcast platforms. Our handle is simply The Movie Wire. No underscore, no spaces, no preservatives, just The Movie Wire. Across the board, all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and of course, YouTube. And I'm just here to let you know, live your passion, live your dream, don't give up. Do what you're passionate about. Don't let nothing stop you. No matter how hard it is, no matter how many roadblocks come against you, don't give up. Keep on doing what you're doing. Keep on having faith. Keep on just moving forward, having a plan. If plan A, B, C, and D don't work, do plan E. Always have a backup plan, but never give up. Always stay focused. Don't let people discourage you. If you have something inside of you that is your passion and your dream and you're good at it and it's a skill, keep on doing it because eventually it's going to reward you and bless many people. Just don't give up. Be true to who you are and stay focused. Stay with us until the end. I have some great things coming up down the pike in The Movie Wire, and I'm very excited. Hope you're doing well. Had a great Super Bowl Sunday last week. My Bengals didn't make it, but it was a great game. It was an awesome game. Awesome halftime show with some of the greats, Dr. Dre, Snoop, Mary J. Blige, Eminem. It was an awesome halftime show. I enjoyed it. It's my generation of hip-hop, and it was an all-around good show. It's this weekend, it's All-Star Weekend, so it's been very exciting in the world of sports for these past couple weeks. This weekend, the big movie is Uncharted, and looks like it's going to be pretty good. Coming up this week is the return of Snowfall. I cannot wait to see that. Snowfall's coming back for another awesome season. Great show, great cast, and it's going to be great. Once again, another great show with great writing, great cast. Other great things are coming down the way. Batman is coming soon. I cannot wait for that to come out. Some more great things are coming down the pike. Moon Knight is coming soon to Disney Plus. I cannot wait for that. The Doctor Strange trailer was awesome. You know, Marvel never ceases to amaze us, and the Super Bowl trailer really, did justice. And I'm not even a fan of Doctor Strange, to be honest with you. I'm a huge Marvel fan, but Doctor Strange is not even one of my favorite, Marvel or Avengers. And I'm slowly getting into his character and getting into his whole story. And I enjoy Marvel. I enjoy the whole storyline to see how it's going to develop and continue. Doctor Strange obviously is a major player now in this next phase, along with Spider-Man and eventually the X-Men. So I'm looking forward to see how that's going to turn out. So the multiverse, Doctor Strange 2, I cannot wait to see that. It was an awesome Super Bowl spot. A lot of stuff going on. And Marvel always likes to throw things in your face, a million miles a minute. So, it's going to be something else. It's going to be a little while. Got to wait a little bit, but that's what Marvel does. They throw a little bit at you, and they tell you it's going to come out in about a year or so, or a few months. So That's Marvel, of course. Once again, a lot of great things coming on. My show's coming back after its long hiatus. All American is coming back, and a lot of people didn't know about All American for a while until it hit Netflix. But I've been a loyal fan ever since at least season 2 on the CW, and despite it being a network show, it really has the potential and has the weight of like an HBO Max show or just a Netflix show. I think really it's really a good show, and I really enjoy it. I really love the story of Spencer James and how, but I'm just kind of frustrated. He's supposed to be doing a lot of great things. He's supposed to be moving forward, and I know they have to keep the cast around, after they graduate. So I'm feeling like they're going to try to keep Spencer James, in the high school or as a coach, because he has not been able to catch a break with getting a college to recruit him. So once again, he's falling into some more trouble. We're going to see what's going to happen with Spencer coming up. And I just have a feeling that to keep him on the show, to keep the show fresh, they're going to probably just keep him around, not playing football in college, but being a coach of some sorts. So we're going to see what happens. I could be wrong, but like I said, I love All American. The whole thing with Coop is crazy. And that whole thing, she gets into trouble. She somehow gets tangled up, and then Spencer tries to get her out, and it's just insane. So we're going to see what happens in the end of the 4th season and how things turn out. So All Americans coming back. So is The Equalizer. I'm looking forward to that coming back as well. But let's talk about Bel-Air. And I'll tell you right now that, I reviewed Bel-Air episode 1 last week, and I've watched episodes 2 through 4, and wow, this show is amazing. And I'm not just saying that. I think this show this is not trying to be like The Fresh Prince. This is not even trying. This show is going on its own route. It's going in its own path. It's based on characters from The Fresh Prince, but it's going in a whole new direction, as a drama should, as the original drama. These characters these characters that we have grown up with are being put in a whole new light. And and this is just amazing because we put these characters in a box, but this show clearly is going to give us a whole new depth of the story of Bel-Air, and it wants us to take a ride into that new universe and telling us, like, this is not just a reboot. This is not just a retelling. This is a whole new gamut of situations that these characters are getting into. The whole thing with Carlton and Will, they had a friendly little rivalry on the sitcom, but Carlton is straight up evil, man. He's scaring me. He's right out of a horror movie. I couldn't sleep in the house with Carlton living there because he's just so unpredictable. But that's what the show was trying to, grab at us. Like, these characters are going through some real 3-dimensional problems. This ain't just a regular, a reboot of, Uncle Phil and his whole political genre, his whole political campaign, Aunt Viv wanting to, feeling like that she wants to go back into art design, Hillary and her cooking and being woke and, kind of telling off a company or not wanting to take a job because the company doesn't want her to be black enough, doesn't want her black food to represent their company. These are really fleshed out issues that, that we had no idea was going to happen in this show. But I appreciate that, just the surprise, this whole surprise of things in Bel-Air that is giving this show a lot of buzz. And I'm telling you, Will Smith, what can you say? Because you got to understand, Will Smith, I'm not sure if it's the same, he has the same kind of pull, but he's also producing Cobra Kai, and Cobra Kai kind of went in that same direction of bringing us into a whole new level of reality from the Karate Kid. And I think that's what Bel-Air is doing, even though this is not even the same universe. there's a lot of similarities to Cobra Kai that I'm looking at with Bel-Air. Like Cobra Kai became popular because it just became a whole new reality that made it fit for today's world to accept. And that's what Bel-Air is doing. You know, we can't just pigeonhole or expect Bel-Air to be like the sitcom because it would just be a simple parody of it. You know, that world that we lived in the 90s is no longer exists. And Bel-Air is giving us a sense of like real issues that our world is facing right now, regarding race, regarding the black wealth gap. I mean, black people actually targeting Philip Banks for being a sellout and for being, being wealthy or being a millionaire. I mean, these things were included in the sitcom. There were little specks of it in the sitcom, but the Bel Air magnifies it so much, and it becomes a main topic. It becomes a main storyline of the episodes, and the whole issue with Carlton's friend planting drugs in Will's book bag. I mean, that kind of thing is heavy. And I love Philip and Vivian Banks in this show. I love the chemistry and the, how they work together, how they work. Anytime there's a strong black married couple in a show who are working together to help people, that's what I love. And the chemistry that Philip and Vivian Banks carry on the show to raise their children, to watch over Will. I really appreciate that. And I was glad to see Will show some value to the show, or to Will showing that he's actually helping the family and helping Philip Banks, because at first, he came off, Will was like a cocky basketball player who was trying to stay out of trouble and who always got caught up into Carlton shenanigans but now we're seeing how Will is actually using some of his social skills and being more socially aware to help Philip Banks and to help the family, the way he helped Philip Banks with his campaign by talking to that pastor. That was just amazing because, Philip Banks, he couldn't connect with certain people. And even with the whole getting people to vote thing, Will was helping Carlton, saying, look, these people don't want you to be patronizing them. They want you to be honest with them. If you really want some votes, you need to tell them the truth. And like I said, I'm not trying to be political here, but it's really giving us a light of kind of probably what politicians go through and how they try to, connect with people, or what they do that's wrong. But like I said, Bel-Air, you have to start looking at it as a whole new show about a wealthy upper class black family, their struggles, their plights, and how they are going to have to come across and come through some of these difficult challenges that they're dealing with. And my thing with Carlton, I mean, he really has some issues. I mean, jealousy is one thing, but he's become like the villain. I know over time things may change for him. Here's what I think is going to happen with Carlton. I think he's going to need Will at some point. Carlton may come across as the privileged, popular, smug, rich guy, but I think at some point he's going to need Will. He's going to be in trouble. He's going to need Will, and Will be the only person to help him. One thing that I'm amazed with, with this show, or with what's been going on is Jeffrey. I mean, they make Jeffrey into a smooth, just a real cool brother right here, who has some connections, some street connections to protect the family. And, spoiler alert, as we found out, it sounds like that he took care of Will's problem. We don't really know the details of it, but shoot, Joffrey's a G. Joffrey's a real G right here, And I think there's a lot of deep things about Jeffrey that we don't know yet that is going to come to the forefront. And I'm excited to find out. I'm excited to know each character can have their own show. And that's the whole thing. They're not just punchlines. They're not just, two-dimensional characters. I mean, yes, they were lovable on the sitcom, but these characters are really coming across of having their own story with Hillary and her cooking food for the people. Even Ashley started to get her own story, how she's kind of a little rebellious, running off to her friends. And she's not really visible, not really a lot yet, but we'll see how her story is going to come across. Jazz, Jazz, got his own thing going on. And the thing that I appreciate about this show too is that the characters are all smart. They're all intelligent in their own way. I mean, they're not naive as they were in the show, in the sitcom. They all have their own deposition about life. I mean, they're not. And I know in sitcoms, you can only do so much with comedy. You got characters who are written to be a certain way for the sake of comedy. But in this show, the characters are really smart in their own right. Carlton can carry his own weight, even though he's a jerk right now. You understand that Hillary is not a bubblehead. Carlton is not naive. Even Jeffrey is not just a punchline who says wisecracks. He's actually someone who just has a deep-rooted connection to some people, or just has his own thing going on. And Philip and Vivian have always been smart, have always been wise people, but they really have got their thing going on in representing black wealth. And that whole image of black wealth seen on this show from the new Vivian and Uncle Phil is amazing, as a married unit. And like I said, Bel-Air is really becoming it's becoming a show that's going to make it worth getting Peacock. It's becoming, to me, it's like the first show that I would is actually worth getting Peacock. I know there's some good stuff on Peacock, but there really hasn't been anything that stood out to me as of yet, and until now. I seen Saved by the Bell, and it is what it is. But Bel-Air really has come across as a show that's worth the time and the money for a Peacock. We'll see how it goes. I mean, it's only been 4 episodes, but like I said, it makes you vested in it. It makes you vested in how this is going to happen, how it's going to turn out. Now, that as early as it is, it looks like Will is out. It looks like Will is in the clear with his situation, and the guy who's trying to find him in Bel-Air on this, from the hood. So we know it's very early right now. We know that something it's not going to be all that easy to resolve his problems. We know something else is going to come about with this. We know there may be some other people who may try to get to him. We know this is not going to be easy. The show is early. The season's early. I'm assuming this will probably be like a 10-episode season, but I'm not sure exactly. I'm not sure how many shows or how many episodes it's planned to be, but I'm probably thinking 10 maybe. But we'll see. This is a weekly show. It comes on every Thursday, and it's really worth the time. It's really worth it. One of my top shows right now that I'm just vested in. And I didn't expect much. Like most people, I didn't expect a lot out of this show when it first came out. But, this is Will Smith. Will Smith is a smart businessman. He knows quality and what he puts into with Westbrook. And, this show is really coming through as another solid hit for him, as well as Cobra Kai. I find it very entertaining. I find it very almost educational. Say the least, say the most. There's no big stars right now there's no big stars in the show. That's the thing. No one is headlining the show as a big name star. These are all new actors as far as in my book. These are all new actors, new people who, are fresh on the scene right now. And I appreciate it. I appreciate the fact that we can take these characters seriously and, get warmed up to them. But like I said, this whole thing with Carlton is crazy. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with him, but I think he's going to need Will. He's going to need his family. He's going to alienate his family, but I think he's going to need Will in particular at some point. I think Phil is going to need Will. He already has needed Will, but I think Phil is going to have to change up his campaign to win. I think Vivian is going to have to find herself and get into art she's going to have to change herself in spite of what Phil wants her to do or wants her to be like this first lady image. I think Vivian and Phil are going to have a little more conflict in the show because she wants to go back to her passion in doing art. I think Hillary is going to prove herself. I think she's going to get into some trouble. I think Hillary's going to get into a little bit of trouble with this new job she has at this house, doing it for free. Nothing is free. Nothing is just free. There's a lot of things that you have to consider. So I think Hillary's going to get into some trouble. And, she might actually, I think the whole family's going to need Will in some angle. I think Hillary's going to probably need Will at some point. He might actually save her in some capacity. I think Ashley's going to get into some trouble. I don't know how. Probably with some boy. Jeffrey's not going to be able to protect her. I think Jeffrey's going to kind of be in over his head. Ashley might figure out how to get around Jeffrey and to get out of his view, get into some trouble, and Will's going to be right there to help her. That's the thing with Will. Like, Jabari Banks plays the heck out of Will. I mean, he plays a whole new dark level, a whole new darkness about Will that's just amazing. But you still see, of course, the true nature of, he has the heart of someone like a Will Smith from the original show, but he has his own spin on the character. He's very loyal to people that he cares about, to his mother, his best friend. And I think bringing his friend to Bel-Air is going to get into some trouble. I think that's what's going to happen. I think his friend coming to Bel-Air to visit him is going to become trouble. There's going to be some issues right there, probably some conflicts with Uncle Phil. I just think that it's going to be a lot of tension, more tension with Carlton, more tension with some of the characters. And I think, like I said, I think there's going to be a lot of problems with Jazz coming up. But like I said, I enjoyed Bel-Air a lot. I really just can't wait for the next episode to come out, and I just can't wait to share my views about it with y'all. So with that being said, once again, that's all the time we have for today. Once again, make sure you subscribe, like, share, and comment. Drop us a DM. Tell us how we're doing with the Movie Wire. I'm really looking forward to doing some things new right now. We're very excited, doing a little bit of expansion here and there. But like I said, I want you to understand that follow your dream, follow your passion, whatever you have your sights on, don't give up. Learn the skill, learn the craft. You do have to do some work. If you really believe what you want to do and you really believe that it's going to make something someday, do what you can to do better at it and to sharpen your skill set. There's natural talent and then there's learned talent. Make sure you find out where you need to learn and grow and where you already have the newborn or the inbred experience. So with that being said, this is JT once again with the Movie Wire. We will connect once again later. You take care and you be blessed. All right, peace.
Thank you for listening to the Movie Wire. Subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss our next episode. We'll see you next time.